Hey, greetings everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. Happy Sunday morning, wherever you are. Time for a ranking. I haven't done a ranking for a while. Um, I am a huge fan and have been since '67, I guess, of the San Francisco scene. Love a lot of the music that came out of that era, from that area. And I wanted to rank my favorite 12 albums basically from that time, from 67 to 70, around there, maybe 71. I'm not sure, but that 4 or 5 year period. Um, I'm wearing a San Francisco hat just to get in the mood. And I've only visited the city once. That was about maybe 8 years ago, and just loved it. Fell in love. I left my heart in San Francisco. I should write a song. Just a great city, man. I must have went to Amoeba Records 10 frickin' times. Went down to Haight Ashbury a couple of times, and just it's just a great city. Anyway, let's get started. First on my list. Now, this is an artist you don't hear me talk about because I'm not that big a fan of his later career where he got really popular and the songs that he did and released that everybody loves. I'm not a big fan of, but the Steve Miller Band. The first two Steve Miller Band albums are awesome. They're kind of psychedelic in a way. Boz Skaggs on guitar. This was the second one, Children of the Future. And these are pretty good albums. I'm trying to remember the name of the first one now. I can't recall, but yeah, you can even tell by the photo there. It's kind of got that psychedelic feel to it. But really good records. I wish Steve would have stuck with this type of music. I would have been a bigger fan. Next, let's tie it into that album. Now, I might be cheating a little bit. This man isn't from, but Steve Miller wasn't born in San Francisco either. But this man played in Steve Miller's band at the time for the first two albums. Boz Skaggs left because of musical differences, and it's Boz Skaggs is kind of a he did another solo album called Boz that would really doesn't even count. So this is really to me his first album, solo album on the Atlantic label. What makes this album so great is Dwayne Allman playing on it on a song called "Loan Me a Dime." Oh, absolutely brilliant song. Um, why does this not want to come out? It just doesn't. There's the label. Uh, yeah, Boz is really famous for that Silk Degrees album in the '70s, which is really kind of, I don't know, it's dated, man. If you ever heard that album now, it was really popular at the time. Boy, he superstar status. But if you listen to that album now, you go, oh, it's kind of cringeworthy. But yeah, this is a pretty good record. Boz wrote a lot of the songs on it, and he does "Waiting for a Train," Jimmy Rogers, and "Loan Me a Dime," which is not the last song on the album. It's 13 minutes long. Great blues track, like I said, with Dwayne Allman. Um, yeah, that's number 11 on my list. Okay, number 10 is going to be my girl, my favorite singer, female singer of all time, Janice Joplin. Got them old cosmic blues again, Mama, released in 1969, I think. Janice's first solo album after leaving Big Brother, full of soul. I mean, she was really taken with Otis Redding and what he was doing before his death, and she put together this great band with the horns and everything. And I just freaking love this album with "Try Just a Little Bit Harder," and maybe her most beautiful vocal. If you don't think Janice can sing, listen to a song called "Little Girl Blue." It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, Janice, my girl, coming in at number 10. Number 9, Quicksilver Messenger Service. Now, I was going to pick the debut album from Quicksilver, which is just awesome with Pride of Man on it and all that, but I always loved this album. Happy Trails, Quicksilver. They play with the song "Who Do You Love," and they the whole side was who do you love, why do you love, when do you love, when do you love, um, but just great guitar playing and fantastic band. John Cipollina, I think his name was. It's in Stan Freelberg, and yeah, just awesome. Love Quicksilver. Okay, that's number 9. Number 8 would be Jefferson Airplane Volunteers. I friggin' love this album. It would be higher up, but I might have something else coming up a little later, so I didn't want to give them 2 top spots. But man, this is just a fantastic record. Jefferson Airplane. Amazing band. Okay, next. I think number 7. It's number 7 on the list. Santana. I would think of Santana from San Francisco, but they were. Abraxas, their second album. Brilliant. Black Magic Woman on it. And, that opening Singing Winds, Crying Beasts, and then it goes into Black Magic Woman and then Gypsy Queen. The great Samba Patai or Pati. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. The beautiful instrumental. Yeah, Santana, Abraxas. Whoa, yeah. Number 6. Another band you never think of from San Francisco or the Bay Area. Might not be right from the city, but in the whole greater area of the Bay Area. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bayou Country, my favorite album from them. I love this album with Graveyard Train and Keep on Chugling and Born on the Bayou and Bootleg and Penthouse Pop. What a great frickin' album that is. Okay. Number 5. Sly and the Family Stone, Stand. Oh, my favorite Sly album. I am devouring this new box set that I got from Sly, the higher box set, 8 albums. I'm 6 albums in and just can hardly wait for the next day to come so I can listen to another one of the records. Stand, Sex Machine. Oh, just 10, 12 minutes of absolute brilliance. The song Stand, I Want to Take You Higher's on this. Sing a Simple Song on this. Everyday People's on this. You Can Make It If You Try if you want. I want to, it's just like, you always talk about Cosmos Factory being almost like a hits album. So's this. Brilliant record. If you've never heard this album, give it a listen. Stand by Sly and the Family Stone. Number 4, Grateful Dead. American Beauty, my favorite studio Grateful Dead album. I didn't pick any live albums in this pile here, so or probably would have picked some live Dead, but American Beauty, can you say? It's got Ripple on it. Good enough for me. Number 3, top 3 are absolutely brilliant albums. This might be a surprise to some when you think about all the great albums that came out, but I absolutely love it. Country Joe and the Fish, Electric Music for the Mind and Body. Freaking great album. Great blues, great rock. Country Joe singing great. It's got some great tracks on here. Not So Sweet Martha Lorraine was kind of like a FM underground hit for them. Yeah, just this is just a great album. It really is. It's a rocker. Their other album, Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die, is more almost like a jug band, folky kind of thing. But this is a rock album. Electric Music for the Mind and Body. Great record. I have it on vinyl as well. Number 2, again, my girl Janice, but with Big Brother and the Holding Company, where she was never better. Cheap Thrills, one of the great albums from the 60s. I mean, if I did a ranking of the top albums from the 60s, this is up there. Hey, good idea, Glenn. Do a ranking of the top albums from the 60s. I'm going to do that. Cheap Thrills, fantastic, with Ball and Chain on it. Of course, Piece of My Heart, which was a huge hit. Fantastic record. Number 1, again, Jefferson Airplane, I mentioned. This is the album that started it all for me when it came to the San Francisco scene. Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow, a top 10 album of all time for me. Just a great album. This is, I don't know, people call it a psychedelic album when they're part of the psychedelic scene, but there's so many acoustic like ballads on here, like Today and Coming Back to Me. How Do You Feel? There's a great acoustic guitar piece by Jorma Kekkonen called Embryonic Journey. Of course, White Rabbit and Somebody to Love are on here. I mean, this is just a classic album. Again, one of my favorite albums of all time. And yeah, that's my number one. Jefferson Airplane Surrealistic Pillow. I remember buying it when it came out and just loving it. What can I say? That's my ranking. Let me know if you're a fan of that era of music, what your favorites are. Who'd I leave out? One band I kind of left out was Moby Grape. I was thinking about adding them. I'm sure there's a bunch of them. I'm sure if Mazzy's watching this, he's got a ton of them. So thank you very much. Everyone have a great Sunday. We'll talk soon.